What is going on, Crisis Actors? It is episode 1077 of Pop Culture Crisis. My name is Brett. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic Friday. I am here with my co-host. Would you introduce yourself, please?
Hello, Crisis Actors. It's Mary. Happy Friday. I have been very pleased with the response to the Renaissance Festival episode that we put on a internet show. But don't watch it. If you haven't watched it already, don't. And we have a 20 that I want to get to first from Shane H. Wilder. Happy Friday, Brett and Mary. Hollywood saying that they're looking to Reddit for ideas after Backrooms did well is proof that they have lost the plot. We want original ideas on screen, not the rage bait and AI slop of Reddit. Yeah, it's just going to be like, what, a horror movie adaptation of some random Am I the A-hole post that is made up anyways?
Doesn't even matter.
Not sure I have faith.
Toy Story did like $5 million more in Thursday night previews than Inside Out 2 did. So
Last night?
Last night.
Wow.
Did like $17.5 million. So clearly slop.
People love slop.
They do. Franchise slop still sells. It just has to be the right type of franchise slop. Not He-Man slop, but Toy Story slop.
Yeah. People love slop. There's no way around it.
They can pretend they don't, but they do. Though you could maybe make the argument that maybe Gen Z doesn't like that type of slop, but
I do wonder, if Gen Z is going to go see Toy Story 5, because I know, based on the years that the movies came out, it is definitely more of a millennial thing, but I did grow up with Toy Story as well. But I just don't, I only want to watch the fifth one because it's related to this job and because I'm wondering if they're gonna villainize the iPad in a satisfactory way.
I don't know what the framing. I've avoided some of the reviews for it for now, but
they claimed that the iPad is not the villain, which pissed me off.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. But you get, if that is coming out this weekend, it is also possible, ladies and gentlemen, that movie ends up outperforming Supergirl the following week. I will do my best to make sure Supergirl gets to $1 billion, ladies and gentlemen.
Because you support queer women.
That's exactly. I got a message in the Slack today from Kellen that said, look at this, and it was like Supergirl is a queer icon. I'm like, I saw a video on this, and it was just our video. Covering
You're standing in solidarity outside of the binary.
There was more, though. Like, the thing Kellen listed was like another person talking about Kara's queerness, I guess.
Oh. So this
new.
Has actual precedent?
No, not in the comics.
Okay.
They're saying that she's an icon
There's precedent of people saying
yes,
that Supergirl is a queer icon, not of her actually being that.
Correct. There is precedent of her having, and oddly enough, it's actually one of those things that proves that representation doesn't matter. If she has a strong audience of people that are LGBTQ that like her, then why does it matter?
Yeah.
She doesn't represent them in the way that they want. But
why can't she wear sexy white go-go boots?
Maybe she
Sorry,
should.
It was just like the tone of voice when you said that.
Okay. Guys, as always, hit the like button on this episode. Subscribe to the channel if you are new here and you have not subscribed here yet already, please. And thank you. Remember to share the episode out with your friends, your family, your loved ones, everybody in your life that you like, the people in your life that you don't like. The more people that you share our show with, the faster our channel can grow. So you should go and do that. What are we getting into today? We are going to talk about Daveigh Chase. She was in Lilo and Stitch. She was the voice actress in Lilo and Stitch. She was also the waterlogged girl from The Ring. A child actor, a very successful child actor, given the fact that she did not take the upfront payment and took residuals and a percentage on the merch.
Oh, wow.
So yeah,
good for her.
She was a very, very wealthy, I'm guessing, child actor that went on to struggle very heavily. She had substance abuse issues, and she has since passed away due to meningitis and a blood infection.
It was a bacterial infection of some sort left unchecked.
And there's all these stories coming out about what life was like for her after she left the spotlight. We're going to read through those articles. I think the most interesting part of it was just that she has a manager that she met at a nightclub that says he didn't take a commission and says that those checks are just sitting there because nobody can't, if she's not there to claim them, her family can't claim them because she's still alive, but she has since passed. And it's wild. The whole story is a bit wild. So we'll get into that. It's very, very sad. And given what I covered, I did a video earlier today, guys, about the actual success of the majority of the cast of The Sandlot, who are all still friends, like 30 years later. They're all like, they post videos together on Instagram. They've all come out at the other side pretty well adjusted. What we're looking at here is unfortunately the much darker path that some of them can go on. So we'll talk about that. We're also going to talk about this absolutely unhinged piece of disgusting literature from Emily Ratajkowski. If you don't know who that is, well, then you're either new here or you're a well-adjusted human being. One of those two. She's like an actress, I guess, who's just kind of famous for being famous. And she wrote this piece about how she feels liberated in her sexuality as a single mom. Because it's
specifically as a single mom, she is defending her right to be a hoe and a single mom at the same time.
She
first
can be
to
both.
ever do it, as you know.
She can be both.
She can do it all.
She can
have it all.
So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about the unhinged requests that come from some celebrities when they get their dressing rooms and their and all that set up. I wish Phil was here, but he's currently hosting IRL. So,
well, we did discuss this with Phil at one point, where he said in his tour rider he demands. I don't know if demand is the right word. He demands Fiji water bottles specifically,
but he has a reason for it.
Because not the water quality, I guess. The shape of that water bottle is easier to hold.
Dense
on
plastic.
Between songs. He said he had this issue where he would pick up a water bottle and like accidentally crush it or like morph the plastic.
Which might have been a mild humble brag, but I appreciate it.
I don't know my own strength. So he needs the thicker plastic of the Fiji water bottle that is resistant to damage when he's in the middle of a performance. And I guess that was his one request.
So we've got other such stories here, which we'll get in. It'll be a fun Friday. So we've got that. Yeah. We've got a bunch of other stuff. If you're ready to go, we can go. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go for it then.
So the divorce of Jelly Roll and his now estranged wife, Bunny XO, just keeps getting messier. And the more it goes on, the worse both of them look as individuals and as a couple. And the more I feel they should probably just stay together instead of inflicting themselves upon anyone other than each other. They are the definition of a couple so toxic that they deserve each other. And they should just accept that they're codependent and toxic together and leave the rest of the world out of it. But they're still putting on the performance that this was an amicable split and that there's no bad blood between them and it was a mutual decision. At least it ended up being one. Jelly Roll spoke out on stage talking to his fans for, he says, the first and only time on his divorce, and I wanted to play that video first off.
Press X to doubt, given how many freaking headlines I've seen about this.
Yeah, ain't no way this is the only time he's addressing it.
I think there's a better chance that they end up back together with a reality show called like Jelly Bun. And
oh man!
All right, here we go. Bunny Roll. That'll be the name of the show.
Bunny Roll.
I wasn't going to talk about this tonight, but
then don't.
Yeah, just don't.
While we're talking about liars, the internet is a liar too.
He also doesn't debunk anything the internet technically said here. Not really.
It's the only time and the only city I'm going to speak about this, so break your camera phones out now. Me and my wife are best friends. We will always be best friends. We just got off the phone earlier today. Nobody cheated on nobody. She just did a whole podcast about it. You can go watch it. Every word of it is the truth. That will be my best friend forever. This is the only time I will ever speak about it. Bunny, I love you, baby. Thank you for those 10 years. They were incredible. Thank you for the next 10 years of friendship and 20 beyond that. With that being said, cheers, everybody. Thanks for coming out tonight.
Okay. What do you think?
I mean, in my opinion, friends don't divorce friends. That's just a bad friend. It's not a friend thing to do, is divorcing somebody. That's kind of messed up.
It's a pretty common trope in literature and in entertainment of the story of the people who started out good and then realized they were better just as friends. Now, depending on the type of story you're seeing written or told, it depends on whether that's with the benefits part. I don't think that that's what's going to happen here. I imagine they're just going to co-parent their future child supposedly
Yikes,
amicably,
man.
I guess. And
Well,
also she's got a relationship with his daughter and with his kids. So
I especially cannot believe that he said nobody cheated on anybody.
well, that's what I
Because
mean. Like it didn't prove anything. Like
it's indisputable that at the very least he did cheat on her while they were married, before they were married.
wait, was that
throughout their
proven, or is that
marriage.
just is that just something that's been
They've
said?
spoken about
So they've
it.
spoken
They're so
about
messy
that. Okay.
That all of this stuff is public record.
Look, we
and I it's something that people do so often when they're getting backlash online. They say a lot of what people are saying is untrue, but they refuse to clarify
Which part?
what is untrue, because then they get plausible deniability about all of what's being said. And they just choose to step back and let you guess. But it's pretty clear there's some deflection going on there. He did mention Bunny's recent podcast episode. It was on the Dumb Blonde podcast. I believe that's what it's called.
That's what it's called.
Not a great way to refer to oneself. It kind of demonstrates that she has a low opinion of herself, and that's why she has put up with his behavior for so long. But she finally addressed the divorce on her show, and I wanted to show that clip where she clarifies some things and also says that Jelly Roll is available. So to any of the ladies whose type is toxic, codependent, egotistical, philanderer, you can shoot your shot. His DMs are open, she says.
I have a bone to pick with whoever shoots her podcast with all that headroom in her shot.
I think it was just cropped badly, I hope. I don't know. They wanted that neon sign very visible.
Here we go.
On Mother's Day, we had a little bit of an argument, which I don't think the details are necessary. And in that
It was
argument,
probably something really pointless. Like they were probably arguing about something really stupid.
Even if she explained it, we wouldn't understand.
it wouldn't make, and to be fair, but it'd be funnier that way.
I was so fed up and so tired that I just looked at him and I said, well, then file the divorce papers. And in our relationship, that is the one cardinal thing that you don't say, even though my husband has said it numerous times because he's the runner. But when I say it, it really holds weight because I'm not the type of person who says what I don't mean. And I ended up leaving. I packed a bag and I left. He ended up doing exactly what I told him to do and filing the divorce papers. It was not mutual. Even though I told him to file the divorce papers, I was speaking out of anger and just frustration. But was it necessary for us to have a wake-up call and to actually start having these real conversations? Absolutely. I don't care how much we didn't communicate or how things shook out. I was riding with this mother till the wheels fell off. I didn't care. I felt like we deserved a chance to go to therapy and figure it out. He didn't feel that way. And I respect it. It took me a month and a half now to respect that. My husband and I are ending this marriage on the best possible terms that you could ever have a divorce. I love him. And you guys are going to be shocked to hear this, but we're still having a baby.
We're still having a
They're still having a baby.
guys.
We're still having a baby together. So we have been the most unconventional couple that you guys have ever encountered.
You think they're the most unconventional couple that anybody's ever encountered?
They are unconventional. I don't know about the most unconventional ever. I don't know if that's either something to be proud of or brag about.
It was this, or they end up like Ozzy and Sharon.
I guess so,
with a reality show down the line.
I mean, they should still have a reality show. I know people would watch it. So yeah, they are still planning on having a baby post-divorce and co-parenting. She opened up about their IVF journey during the episode, revealing that they suffered multiple embryo losses while trying to start a family. The setbacks took a significant emotional toll on both of them and contributed to strain in the relationship. Bunny pushed back on speculations, denying rumors of infidelity and insisting that there is no bad blood between them. She described Jelly Roll as her best friend, and the two remain quite close despite the divorce. Their plans to have a child after ending their marriage may seem unconventional, but it's the path they both fully support.
Shocking.
I can't think of something more selfish than bringing a child into the world with the express intention of not giving the child what it deserves, which is married parents who are together. That is the right of every child. And of course, things often don't work out that way because life doesn't pan out the way we want it to. But it's far different to plan it out from the beginning before this child even exists, that they're never going to have a united family unit. That is tragic and incredibly selfish and doesn't take the interests of the child into account whatsoever. But it's just trashy behavior from both of them, and it doesn't change the fact that they're trashy given that they're wealthy now. Like, anyone can be trashy. Anyone can be classless. It has nothing to do with your net worth. You can live in a trailer or a mansion and be a trashy human being, and that's what they are. So that was the big reveal. She also addressed rumors that she was the one who cheated. It was about a specific person. She addressed rumors that she had been dating Nickelback frontman Chad Kroeger. And she said that that was not true. Fan speculation brewed, wondering if she had moved on. Further fueling the gossip was an Instagram video that she posted in May, hugging him, writing, "The moment I finally got back in his arms, swoon." And she said on her podcast episode, "I posted a Nickelback song because Nickelback is one of my favorite bands." Not thinking anything of it, not a shot at Jelly Roll, not even realizing that it's a breakup song. It's trending on TikTok. So I was like, yay, I'm going to do a TikTok to it. She further explained that she was just feeling good at the moment and therefore also decided to post a sexy photo of herself in lingerie at the same time.
Yeah.
The divorce news drops. I have Nickelback on my page. By the way, there are a lot of F-bombs being thrown throughout the episode, so I'm just skipping over those. The influencer stressed that she has so much respect for Chad Kroeger, who has sang on stage with Jelly Roll before and his band, calling them the sweetest humans ever. I would never want to disrespect them. I get where people are trying to put puzzle pieces together, but you're putting a puzzle together with missing pieces.
Wow, that's what happens when you're trying to get your sparkle back.
And it's true that some people are grifting and engagement farming and lying about things. One was a clip posted from Bunny XO's YouTube channel that was actually from back in 2018, a breakup vlog from one of their many breakups. It's captioned, again, just the same way as Oliver Tree was. You know, they said, there was a clip of Oliver Tree and they said, he said he's in danger and that his life is in danger. And in the clip, nowhere is that said. Same thing here. They caption it, Bunny XO collapsed in tears, begging Jelly Roll not to divorce her after confessing to a secret affair with his best friend, claiming temptation got the best of her and pleading for one last chance to save their marriage. Meanwhile, that is not present in this clip whatsoever and has nothing to do with the content of the video. So yes, people are lying, but they're also deflecting and lying themselves, probably.
It's a lie fest all around from everybody. It's a depressing, sad state of affairs. And frankly, I was surprised we heard as much as quickly as we did. I assume this is one we weren't going to hear much about, but I saw like 3 articles in a row before the same day that we covered the initial story.
No, they can't help themselves, really, because if things were as sunshine and rainbows as they claim, they wouldn't feel the need to explain it to everyone and justify themselves.
You know what? He needs to just go find Sydney Sweeney, and Bunny XO needs to go find Jonathan Davino.
You know, honestly, Sydney Sweeney would be down for that. She would hop on the Jelly Roll PR bandwagon in 0.2 seconds.
I would hope so, that's what you like. And then Jonathan Davino gets to go and be with Bunny XO.
And we'll get to more of what's wrong with women later in this episode when we get to Emily Ratajkowski. But I said earlier off air, like, what's wrong with women, or rather like hoes, which there are a lot of them these days, is that there will be women clamoring for a chance to date Jelly Roll now. I mean, they were already, of course.
I mean, now
that they've gotten the express approval, they will be banging down the door in his DMs looking for a chance, because all they care about is attaching themselves to someone with fame, status, and money.
I mean, but the issues with
even
them
though it's a complete walking red flag.
The issues with them is not the same as the issues with whatever the hell Emily Ratatouille is trying to spew with her article. That's a whole different can of worms entirely.
Yeah. And we'll open it. Don't worry about that.
Yes, we will get there. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about Hollywood learning the wrong lessons. To Reddit we go.
Yes, of course. As soon as Backrooms and Obsession enjoyed huge returns at the box office, we predicted, and most people predicted, that Hollywood would learn all of the wrong lessons from it. And that is now confirmed. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Hollywood studios, talent managers, and executives are running to Reddit for original ideas. They consider Reddit to be an IP incubator, just waiting for them to seize the opportunity. They say Backrooms sends Hollywood running to Reddit for new ideas. The old school forum that originated A24's Backrooms is embracing its role as an idea incubator where fandoms can grow organically. And in this piece, they mentioned that Kane Parsons did an exclusive AMA on Reddit to answer fan questions about the movie. That's a huge marketing opportunity. And they also interview Jim Squires, the chief marketing officer at Reddit, about how studios can take advantage of this platform to promote their projects. But that's not really the crux of the issue here. It's not because we have any problem with studios using Reddit for inspiration or using it to promote their shows or movies. It's that they're planning on just stealing content that already sucks to begin with.
It feels like a
Hollywood Reporter conveniently glosses over the fact that the Backrooms idea originally did not come from Reddit.
Correct.
It came from 4chan. And of course, Hollywood considers 4chan far too toxic to ever associate themselves with.
I mean, look, the thing there though is like, it may have come from 4chan, but it was built up into what it is on Reddit, which was then turned into a video series, which is ostensibly a proof of concept that this could work in a larger format. So I get the point of saying that, but like, is the idea supposed to be like, ooh, but all the real good ideas come from 4chan? Like, I don't know if that's really relevant. The bigger question here is like, look, Tim won't even take pitches from people because of the potential to get sued. So what are you going to just go troll forums? And Sydney Sweeney did some movie that was based off of a Reddit story.
Well, I mean, Tim can say that, but a Hollywood studio is armed with so many lawyers that
they have the same approach. They have the same
them.
approach. They won't listen to your pitch unless it's in an official meeting. Like they discourage you doing the actual concept of the elevator pitch because of the potential for lawsuits.
Well, one specific example is cited here, and we'll get to that in a minute. Maybe it's the way it could be done right. But they say one of the communities on Reddit r/Backrooms, which was formed after a post on the image board 4chan, sparked the idea for the fantastical world. It started back in 2019, where people were coming together to take this simple concept into discussions and lore building that happened in there. Kane Parsons, using the pseudonym Kane Pixels, took the concept and ran with it, creating the Backrooms video series, leading to the feature from A24. Reddit has helped build communities on different topics, and that includes internet phenomena. The bigger the community, the bigger the opportunity to create something worthwhile. This is a moderator that they interviewed on the condition that he gets a shout out of his username rather than his government name, because he wants karma. Users not only witness the concepts, they also help contribute with new ideas. There's a lot of material to explore. It's just about finding the right talent. Going back to r/movies, we had a lot of updates for the project in the past 3 years, which all led to high engagement from our users. Every trailer, poster, interview built awareness and more curiosity. It's no surprise that this, along with Obsession, has been one of the best titles we've had in the subreddit for discussion. As Hollywood appears poised to pivot to digital native creators like Kane Parsons and Curry Barker, Reddit is emerging as a focus point alongside obvious suspects like YouTube and TikTok for agents and execs seeking the next big thing. Indeed, one agency veteran says that assistants at their agency have identified a bunch of subreddits and short stories that they think could lead to compelling ideas. And that includes Backrooms, where a community helped create a world, but also subreddits dedicated to short stories are the popular r/no sleep, where people write and read original horror. One of those stories on Reddit is being developed as a feature film produced by and starring Sydney Sweeney called I Pretended to Be a Missing Girl. Yep. So I looked into that a little bit more, and you could say this is either the good ending or we don't know yet. But the original author of that Reddit story is named Joe Coate, and he is a public school, I think a high school teacher. He got contacted by a talent manager. So it's the tale of a young drifter who sees a photo of a missing teenage girl who looks exactly like her. She discovers that the girl's family is wealthy and pretends to be their missing daughter, unaware of what she's walking into. Joe Coate posted the story in 2020. He also said he had never written stories seriously before, and his foray into fiction received hundreds of upvotes and comments on the site, eventually leading to a talent manager reaching out. I thought the message was a scam. I ignored him, and then he messaged me again, and I told him no. I said, I don't need any sort of writing representation or anything. I'm just a public school teacher. And he said, trust me, you're going to want to get on the phone with me. And I did. Several months later, he got a call telling him that a production company was interested. It's been a whirlwind, and I'm enjoying every bit of it. So Warner Brothers secured the rights to the film. It's set to be produced by Sydney Sweeney's 50/50 Films, but I'm assuming that means her new production company. Mm. What was that called? Honey something? I don't remember. And she's starring in the project. The script, though, will be written by Eric Roth, who is known for his work on films like Forrest Gump, the recent Dune movie, and others. So Joe Coate, on the other hand, the original author, is going to serve as an executive producer. Now, I don't know what that means to make someone an executive producer who doesn't have money to back the project. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how much creative control he'll retain over the story once someone else has taken the responsibility of writing the script. And is it going to be anywhere close to the story that he originally wrote in order to be compelling? You know, like, it's hard to tell whether there's a good way to do this. And it's good that they gave him the credit and involved him instead of just stealing the story. Mm. But it doesn't appear that they care about keeping him involved in the development of the project.
No, but they do care about, like they said, the part in which it was used to incubate on Reddit and gain a lot of traction. It's more the amount of eyes you can get on it before it goes to air. Mm-hmm. You get more people, familiar with the brand. There are endless amounts of good scripts that shuffle around Hollywood at any given time. They're either the wrong person writing it, or the issue is the writer has no credit outside of that great story and they can't base their marketing around it, so you have to attach it to a star. All this is doing is attaching a fan base and a built-in audience to a writer the way they try to do with actors when they cast them by making sure that they have a large enough social media platform. They get great scripts all the time. It's nothing new. They just get thrown in the trash because that script doesn't have either the IP backing it with the built-in audience that they claim they need, or the ability to have a writer attached to it that has writing credits that they can sell it on.
Yeah, there's a similar problem in book publishing as well, because if you don't have a social media following, you're not going to get a book deal. Yeah. Like, you're not going to get an advance, you're not going to get a publisher unless you have a social media following to prove that you're able to promote it on your own platforms.
This is true even in this space here. Like, outside of, like, if you don't have a big enough social media platform, you don't really exist. You don't matter.
It's true for musicians as well, which is kind of a shame because the skills that it takes to be good at promoting oneself online don't necessarily always overlap with the skills that make someone a good artist.
This was like something, so like Tim was talking last night about AI being the death of content creation because it's going to flood the zone with so much material. You can't make stuff at fast enough of a pace to keep up with AI and you know, whereas like at one time, maybe when we're doing this podcast, we're competing with some other podcasts that cover pop culture, but then eventually you're going to be dealing with, you know, competing against endless AI slop. And I said, well, like, look, it's not the same thing one-to-one because look, there might be a lot of AI music out there that kids like. There might be AI movies that people want to watch on their TV. I yet to believe whether I think that's actually going to, the idea of prompting a movie makes me want to just jump off a bridge. But
yeah, same.
but whatever. The point is, I said you have to build a brand based on authenticity and reach with an audience that kind of belies AI. Like they're trying that right now with like AI singers that have their own fan bases on social media, but it's not really the same thing as a singer or an actor not getting hired for a role because they don't have enough social media followers. They kind of run in tandem with each other.
Right. And I may be biased here, but I agree with the sentiment that 4chan is probably a better place to look for original thought than Reddit. One person said, Reddit could never produce something as stylistically unique or compelling as Backrooms because Reddit is a platform full of egotistical neurotics. But there is a lot of fiction. And one 4chan post that stood out to me as this was trending on X says, so you're with your honey and you're making out, and when the phone rings, you answer it and the voice is, what are you doing with my daughter? You tell your girl and she say, my dad is dead. Then who was the phone? Amazing stuff. Hollywood is clamoring for ideas like this.
I can't.
Here's a Reddit post that they could use. Am I the a-hole for telling my son that he's obviously gay?
I saw that.
And here's an example from 4chan. A green text post. Be at Swedish ship cruise. Haven't defecated in a week. Shit at least 3 giant python in the toilet. Try to flush. Not working.
.jpg.
.jpg. Tried to flush again, but shit doesn't flush. Look for cleaner lady in hallway. Swedish is really bad to grab the hand of the cleaner, take her to the bathroom, try to flush and say titta, which watch in English, while push flush button. Shit goes quite normally, away to sewer.
I'm transfixed.
Can this be developed into a script for a feature-length film? Hollywood thinks so.
Seth Rogen says yes.
Yes.
Seth Rogen says yes.
And this is not necessarily related, but I did just want to mention that Variety published this piece titled "Don't Call It a Sequel or a Reboot or a Remake."
It's a companion piece.
Why certain words trigger Hollywood. And this is brought up because of the Social Network sequel, which is not a sequel, guys. You can't call it a sequel. It's not sequel slop, okay? It's a companion piece.
You know, I actually give them a pass on the Social Network having it being called a companion piece. It's Aaron Sorkin, right? He's pretentious. It fits. Now, if they made He-Man 2 Electric Boogaloo and called it a companion piece, that would be ridiculous. But the idea of Aaron Sorkin being like, I'm not doing a sequel. I'm doing I have no idea what his voice sounds like, but you know, he loves to write the really, really pretentious walk and talk. So I imagine him being no sequels.
I would never write a
It's
sequel.
a companion piece. I made him British for some reason. I have no idea. That's fine. You know what? Let them do it. This is not going to work either long term. I don't see this being the benefit that they think it is. But I also don't think that nostalgia is the way to go. I made an entire video today about what I've realized my critique is with nostalgia, which is that it's not that it doesn't work, it's that it doesn't work long term, which is why you can have commercials where celebrities reprise their roles as famous characters and people get a kick out of it. But as soon as you bring them back to play a decrepit version of their former self, it doesn't really hold the same weight.
Yeah. I mean, just look at this photo
yes.
of Mark Zuckerberg in The Social Reckoning. It just makes you immediately want to die.
Yeah, it does. I am waiting for the Tom movie, though. The Tom from MySpace movie.
Maybe one day.
His space. That's what they'll call it.
They gotta make that when millennials are getting into their 50s.
Oh, gosh, I can't wait. All right, let's move on. Cringe or cute?
Let's see the cringe first.
Okay.
I'm redeeming myself from Wednesday.
Yeah. All right, here we go. All right.
I will stew the out of you.
Than most people.
What are you doing?
I'm filming a social media and video thing.
Okay, I don't want to be filmed.
You don't have to, like, walk away. You don't have to be on camera if you just keep walking.
It's a public grocery store, and
I got permission from the manager to film this. So just keep walking. What are you...
The telephoto lens.
Why are you...
Class.
Why?
This is a public place, and I don't appreciate
Keep walking.
Why is Dr. Disrespect putting on weight and doing this? He looks like Dr. Disrespect.
can't stop recording. There's like 40 cameras on me.
I don't want to be in any of your social media. If I see anything posted
Don't come
with
in my face.
picture, I will stew the out of you.
Holy... You're nuts.
I will...
The crazy thing is, there are probably only 2 cameras actually recording of all of the cameras that he's wearing.
The funnier version of this he could do is like, fine, I'll turn them off, and he like starts reaching and he can't like get to them to turn them off.
Can you help me? Can you help me turn them all off?
Look, I'm doing what you asked. Would you help me here? Okay.
You know what? I'm on Karen's side, by the way.
I mean, you shouldn't be filming people in public.
I'm on Karen's side.
Yes. This is from I Got the Buzz News. It says, Benji, he's a handful, but also my joy.
Very cute.
It's a very cute cat right there.
Benji is cute, and we like his ears.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on. So one of the biggest stories that has come out this week is the tragic passing of actress Daveigh Chase. If you don't know who Daveigh Chase is, she was the voice of Lilo from Lilo and Stitch from the original back in the early 2000s. She was also in The Ring. She was in Donnie Darko, a very, very successful actress. And I do mean successful given the fact that when she passed, she had millions of dollars in residuals that she had not cashed because she took a percentage on merchandise when she signed her deal with Disney, which makes her one of the most successful actors I can imagine that you could ever have, given the time period when Lilo and Stitch was as big as it was. Mm-hmm. She quit acting in 2015 around there. She missed she missed an appointment with Rob Reiner to sign on for his next movie and was almost never seen again. She was a very introverted person, which is why she was never officially reported missing. And what happened was she fell victim to drugs like fentanyl and heroin. And the last time she was seen was at the end of 2025 on Skid Row. She was deathly thin. Her manager has this whole interview here talking about his history with her, what happened, and she died from meningitis and a blood infection, which is just an absolutely tragic way to go. But the story is multifaceted and there's a lot going on with it.
Yeah, and we're not going to show the videos of her in that state because it would just feel wrong to do so. But there are some screenshots provided from these videos in the New York Post. They say this outreach worker / activist who goes by the mayor of Skid Row on social media
it's his Instagram
encountered
handle.
her in person before her death. His name is Kevin Call, and he says that he knew Daveigh Chase, and in a much different state than when she was a Disney star. He said, "We do outreach, and she used to come through the line, but as I see her picture now, and I see what she looked like then, it was a big difference." This is what the disease of addiction does to a lot of celebrities, a lot of people that end up in this situation here at Skid Row. So she died in a hospital on Tuesday from complications of bacterial meningitis and a blood infection. Kevin Call said that he watched as she looked thinner and thinner every time that he saw her. She was getting more thin every time I've seen her. She was getting thinner, and that let me know that she had a disease that was unarrested and she needed help. and she couldn't get the help fast enough before the disease took her life. A video taken at Skid Row months before her death showed a severely thin Daveigh Chase sprawled on the floor of a tent. Friends of Chase, I say take that term with a grain of salt. I don't know what kind of friends she might have had at this time. Talked to the Post saying that she was severely underweight at the time of her death. Kevin Call said disease can take even celebrities to dark places on Skid Row, people that are well known, and all of a sudden they turn back. The disease doesn't care. So many start off on a good note, but end up bad, and especially when they have to die on Skid Row. Her manager, John Ryan, tried to save her from the infamous addiction-ridden zone, but couldn't find her in time. John Ryan and Chase's stepsister had planned to get her into a rehab facility in Costa Rica, owned by a friend that he knew after nursing her back to health in Los Angeles. We were so close to finding her. Daveigh was the sweetest and brightest light in Hollywood. I can't believe this is real. Her legacy and work will live on forever. Daveigh Chase's alleged boyfriend set up a GoFundMe in her name. I'm already immediately suspicious of his intentions. Her family says that it's not legitimate. They suspect him of trying to benefit from her name. She also starred in The Ring as horror villain Samara Morgan and played her final roles in 2 films in 2016, thriller American Romance and psychological horror film Jack Goes Home. Kevin Call said that the family could at least find solace in no longer worrying about her horrifying condition. I hate to see what happened to her, but hopefully her family will have closure, knowing that they don't have to worry about her or her condition. So there's more about John Ryan, this Hollywood manager of hers. I'm also suspicious of his intentions. We don't know much about him and what he intended to do, and it sounds like
he was running a nightclub, and then she was going to the nightclub, and him and his wife took her in. Look, I can't speak to this guy. Could have
they met in weird circumstances.
This guy could have a heart of gold. Sure, that's fine. I don't know, but I was reading it. That's more. Don't take that as me stating anything. That was more like my antenna went up when I was reading that, but I can't speak to it. Just that the circumstance. This isn't the guy that managed her whole life. He started managing her towards the end of her career, not in the beginning. And he says that he didn't take a cut of anything that she made or anything like that. She was like a daughter to him. And look, maybe I've just seen too many movies and television shows, but I just always find it suspicious.
Right. Yeah. So he did this interview with Entertainment Weekly saying that he first met Daveigh Chase when he was about 24 in the mid-2000s when he owned Element, a Los Angeles nightclub that was frequented by Hollywood stars. Daveigh was coming there a lot, and she became kind of like a little sister of the place. We all kind of looked out for her. She had some problems with her mother. They helped her get her own house set up in Toluca Lake. John Ryan, now executive producing films like Good Burger 2 and the upcoming Kenan and Kel Meet Frankenstein under the Artists for Artists studio he co-founded with Kenan Thompson, says that he began managing her career as a favor. She'd asked that we help manage her because she was unhappy with some things, and we wanted to make sure she was in good hands, so we took care of her and helped her get to agents. She was one of my best friends. Me, her, my wife, and her ex. We're going to travel the world together. So she was a close friend of mine. We just kind of managed her without taking commission, just make sure little sister was safe because I knew she had an effed up childhood.
I know she had a bad relationship with her mom from what I could see. That was indicated throughout.
He says that she was receiving big offers for high-profile projects in the final days of her career, but gravitated towards smaller films. She just wanted to get back to her Donnie Darko roots and do more indie, Sundance-y stuff, he explained, noting that she was working on film sets just 3 weeks before her disappearance. Her final projects were Jack Goes Home and American Romance. Ryan last saw her face-to-face in November 2015 and says that he discovered that she was missing after she blew off a meeting with Rob Reiner. Rob Reiner had called us and had a role for her, and she never showed up. Yeah. He said, I've got a role I want to talk to her about, have her come in. And then we followed up the next day. Hey, how did the meeting go? And he said that she never showed. And we were like, okay, something's up. Chase lost her phone, and none of us had a way to get a hold of her after she missed the meeting. She was staying with us a lot, my wife and I, so we had her passport and we had her clothes.
Okay, that was the part where I was like, I guess maybe it was just the way it was phrased.
I don't know, just saying that you have someone's passport.
Yes. Like if it said like she left her
sketchy.
passport with us would have been
It's
one
sketchy.
thing. It was the way it was phrased in the article. Again, I'm working against my own like instincts here to be like, okay, she left her I don't carry my passport everywhere with me either. But
It's
the point was, I read it and I'm like,
imagine that there's this sweet soul out there
Who owns
in
a nightclub.
Hollywood who just happens to own this nightclub, and he just happens to be a saint who's working for free, and his wife is totally fine with this drugged out Hollywood starlet staying in their house and like partying at night and sleeping during the day. Like, I just find the whole story rather uncanny. But he said, at first I thought she was kidnapped or something, and then we started putting two and two together. Her manager explains he was in a group chat with the actress's sisters and friends who would periodically contact one another to check in on her sobriety and health. She liked to drink now and then, and it was more drinking than heavy drugs. So it was just like, all right, well, you know, she's a kid who started drinking, keep an eye on her. And we all had an eye on her. He said he helped Chase into a couple of rehabs back in the day, but that her circle of friends wasn't overly concerned about her sobriety at the time of her disappearance. She was good. She was sober for a while before she went missing. Everything was fine. None of us thought she would go back on anything. He says she stopped contacting her entire circle of friends and family simultaneously in 2015, which was alarming, but also not completely unprecedented, as she had a history of disappearing for a couple weeks at a time before reemerging to continue her career. She was very private and not Hollywood. So she would be like, I'm gonna go sit in the desert, or I'm going to go hide in my house in Vegas for a couple of months and just get away from Hollywood. Because she was such an introvert, it wouldn't be surprising if she didn't leave her house for 5 months and she just watched movies with her cats. Now, I mean, we don't really know why she would disappear like that, but it sounds more like something dark was going on when she wasn't contacting people.
It depends on the timeline of when she fell into the substance abuse stuff. Like, as I've explained before, like, there was a time in my life before I got married where that could have been me, even when sober, where that's just kind of who you are. You kind of separate from the world, but it's far more likely that it's connected to substances.
And it just so happens that she was in this financial position where she could support long stints of not working and not seeing anybody. Yeah. And it wouldn't put a dent in her bank account.
Normal people can't do that because they'll get reported missing because they didn't show up at work.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So because of her history of disappearing, John Ryan and Chase's other friends assumed that the actress would return at some point, which is why they never filed a formal missing persons report with the police. We went down and told the police, but because of her history, we'd assumed she would show up. Eventually, her loved ones began to hear rumblings about people spotting her in various locations. There was enough every year of, she's in Van Nuys, she got in trouble doing this, she's floating around, but there wasn't ever really a missing person report or anything filed because she was kind of missing on her own will.
So she was, one of the stories that I read was that she was questioned after she dropped off somebody overdosing at the hospital who later died. And she was there. And then also she was like basically a passenger in a stolen car.
Right. So after she broke contact with her circle, she occasionally made headlines. TMZ reported in February of 2017 that she was arrested after riding in a stolen car, and she was questioned by authorities after dropping a dying man off at a hospital in November that same year. He said he started hearing some bad stuff about her status about 5 years ago, and that about 6 months ago, he received a video of her in Los Angeles' Skid Row. I ran down there, and by the time I went, she had already left. We've been looking for her ever since. We've had private eyes on it. When he received the news that she had died following complications, Ryan was in the midst of setting up a documentary project that would have chronicled the search. I'm just like immediately F this guy. Like,
was the whole thing suspicious, right? Like, okay, so
you're making a documentary about searching for this person that you, by your own admission, have made very little effort to find.
that's what it feels like. And so it's like,
basically a decade.
the more that I read about this article, I was like, look, I can't know this guy's heart, but all of it seems suspect to me.
And here's how he's like trying to almost promote himself.
Well, yeah, it's been like what?
Her as the face.
She just died, and this interview's already out. Like,
it's weird as hell. Yeah. So, and you get this, the documentary about finding or failing to find her is tentatively titled "Finding Lilo."
Yep, and they're still gonna make it now.
I'm grossed out by the whole idea, but especially the name. Like, is it even about her, or is it about, you know, grifting off of her fame? That's obviously what's going on. Even if he had good intentions at the start, maybe when they knew each other early on in the 2000s, maybe that was normal at first and it was a real friendship, but now it's obviously twisted into something more sinister than that. He said, "I didn't think it's my story to tell. I didn't want to put my little sister on blast." Again, saying that about her, like calling her your little sister when you've not even seen this woman in a decade. Okay. We had hopes that she would come back, and everyone just assumed she had been retired these last 10 years. But once I started hearing things like Skid Row and all that, then it was like, okay, now we're calling all cars. Once I got a video of her and how bad she looked, I said, we need to bring the public in on this. I don't want to protect the brand anymore. I want to protect the girl. What does making a movie about it have to do with protecting her?
Exactly.
You fucking asshole. Okay, sorry. This is just like
no,
so transparent.
This is the first thing I said to you. I was like, this guy's extremely untrustworthy.
So the documentary, before she died, I suppose, was intended to help get the word out about her disappearance. We wanted the world to know, this girl that you dress up as for Halloween has been missing for 10 years, and we need the internet's help finding her. Now we're going to spin it and make a documentary celebrating her life. She was the sweetest girl on the planet, greatest celebrity I ever had the chance to work with. She was just so kind. I think this guy is a grifter at best. Even if they had a genuine friendship to start with.
So it says, Ryan, who managed Chase for more than a decade, continued to receive SAG-AFTRA notices to his office reporting that she had unclaimed residual checks. He told the Post that there was millions in unclaimed money. Chase was too far gone, allegedly hooked on heroin and fentanyl, to collect the money, despite Ryan's attempts to get in touch with Chase over the years. The scariest thing is, like, the number one thing an addict needs to continue to be an addict is the money is the money needed to buy drugs, right? So, I mean, maybe it's literally as simple as like one check is enough to cover for an extended period of time, but not likely. You develop a tolerance and it goes south real fast.
Not 10 years.
And then with the boyfriend, you know, starting a GoFundMe, I'm surprised there were probably more men in her life that were trying to use this against her and use her for her fame.
Right.
It says they say that that money will now go to her father because and both her parents, from what I understand, are still alive and remarried.
Okay, so the money thankfully is not going to go to John Ryan or any of these random hangers-on who are trying to scam people.
I mean, she died 2 days ago, and this interview is already out.
He's done multiple exclusive interviews with different outlets already. And now, to get to the issue of like, why did this all happen? It's not really any specific person's fault. You know, addiction hits people at all levels of society, whether they're famous or not, whether they're wealthy or not, and you know, people are going to look at this story and they're going to blame Hollywood, or they're going to blame the manager or the boyfriend or the family or whoever. I mean, the conspiracies are already flying. And one of those posts that I came across was featuring a resurfaced video of Diddy inviting Daveigh Chase to one of his infamous after parties when she was 13 years old at this award show. I believe it was the MTV Movie Awards. And let's just play that real quick.
I gotta turn that down. Hold on. There we go.
Coming to the after party alone? Yeah! Good, you're doing so good.
I just want to say,
Wait, where does this land between like the Justin Bieber one on the stage with what's her name? Was it Pink?
Yeah, no, it was Jenny McCarthy. We always get them mixed up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the same thing. Pink's Jenny McCarthy. It's like
it's freaking creepy. And you can look up a photo of this 13-year-old Daveigh Chase with Ashton Kutcher on one side of her and Diddy on the other. And it's just weird as hell. Now, we don't know if trauma, especially as a child star, factored into turning to drugs as a coping mechanism for her, although it is likely given what we've seen. That's not really the point, though. I mean, I guess what's relevant right now is that this guy is obviously trying to grift off of her fame after she is already dead. And in a very transparent manner. Like, I don't know how anyone can not see through his intentions here.
Yep.
But this is just the way it goes, you know, that Hollywood will chew you up and spit you out. You'll end up on Skid Row and then you die, and then they're not done with you yet. They're going to make money off of you one way or another.
If they can't get the residual checks, they'll make the documentary that they could have used their own money to actually find you. From everything that I've ever been told, like people that live in homeless communities and areas don't actually move great distances. So I don't even know if they might not live in the same place every day. The tent might not be in the same place every day, but they're not moving 30 miles down the road.
I just don't believe that it would have been like that hard to track her down.
If they, with the baseline there of where she was, I just don't buy it. So the guy's not to be trusted.
Yeah. Weird as hell.
All right, let's move on. We've got more stuff to get into. This one's almost worse.
It's been a minute since we discussed anything about Emily Ratajkowski. I'll just call her Emily Ratatouille for the sake of simplicity, or Emrata.
Before we get started, we got a 20. I'm sorry, I'll let you redo it afterwards. Not that John Stewart says, watching about an hour behind. Have a good weekend. Sup? Wow, that's crazy. I didn't know that.
Have a good weekend.
And to you as well, my friend. All right, sorry. Let's roll it back and try this again.
So Emily Ratajkowski just penned an essay published in The Cut as sort of a retrospective on her reeling from her divorce that took place in 2022 and how she has attempted to reintegrate her identity as both a single mom and a hoe. And she's insisting to the world that there is no contradiction whatsoever in those things. So in this essay, she claims she only slept with 8 guys before her marriage. That included 4 live-in boyfriends and 1 male best friend from high school. She said she had never had a one-night stand or slept with anyone the same day that she met them. And after her divorce, all of that changed because she wanted to tell the world, I can be both a Madonna and a whore, and you're gonna like it.
And that's my complex.
That's just skimming the surface of this insanity, but I want to show the photo that they chose to publish with this essay. It's on the post by The Cut.
Oh, I do not have that one. I only have the tweet and I have the other article.
It's in Slack.
Hold on, let me.
You need it. But in this photo shoot, she is posing.
I don't even know if we can show that. I don't know if we can show that. I know that it's not a real baby.
Really?
I don't think we can show that.
Okay,
I
then
don't
I'll
think
describe it. We don't want to risk
the AI isn't
getting
gonna
mad at us.
The AI is gonna be the AI that's like judging all this is gonna be like, nope, sorry.
Well, fine. Let's play it safe. I'll just tell you then what's in the photo. She is posing with an open jacket and her boobs fully exposed, and a prosthetic baby doll that is on one of her nipples. Pretending to breastfeed this fake baby doll. And it's very disturbing, kind of like the actual photo of her with her baby, where she looks like she's posing with it like a handbag.
Well, we do have this one where she's just really bad at holding the baby.
Yeah, it's sort of like that. So it's titled Mother Effer. After becoming a single mom, I began compulsively dating in order to figure out what kind of woman I wanted to be. So to be clear, she's not talking about dating, and I really don't like when people conflate the word dating with just sleeping with every man in sight. Yep. And that is exactly what she proceeded to do. And she describes the postpartum of her recent marriage. She says, in a time period that felt both instant and excruciatingly slow, my marriage collapsed 6 months after my son was born. My husband and I stopped having sex. Less than a year later, we separated.
So
there's very little explanation given as to why they had relationship problems.
How long were they married before that?
Not very long. Okay. Not very long. So she was a newly minted single mother, just entering into her 30s. And she hated the condescending way people looked at me in the wake of the breakup. Their furrowed brows, the pity in their faces as they delivered an "I'm so sorry, Emily." I couldn't stand my pathetic reflection in their eyes. They saw me as someone who was unwanted, who had been left, a reject with the burden of a needy, hungry, 2-foot-tall sidekick. That's quite a way to refer to your own child. Even as a kid, I reasoned that all of the things I could grow up to be, it was crucial to avoid becoming a single mom. Now, this is the one sentence in this entire essay that I actually agree with in principle. She said, the term could be lodged as an insult. Having a child with the wrong man is the fastest way to ruin your life as a woman. It meant having no freedom, no choices, and no emergency exit, all baggage and no security. That is absolutely true. Having a child with the wrong man is probably the biggest mistake that a woman can make, and it should be taken incredibly seriously. But she doesn't. She doesn't take it seriously at all. She trivializes the whole thing, casts herself as a victim, and describes how she clumsily coped with her new reality by sleeping with as many men as possible. And she, in order to divorce her own core identity from this new person she was becoming, just created a fake persona in her mind of a villain, because her divorce is, as she put it, her villain origin story. She said, the character I learned to embody after my divorce in my period of compulsive dating was a villain, poison ivy, Catwoman, sexual but scary, and she drank gin martinis. She was not tragic, nothing close to a victim. No one needed to feel sorry for her. In fact, they should all be jealous. Divorced single mom? What about instead a woman who needs nothing from men? I already had the kid and motherhood experience so many of my friends secretly coveted while pretending to date casually. I had no illusions about the romance of marriage or a shared life together. I learned the hard way that being alone was better than most partnerships. I'd seen too much, discovered what many women do only when they get divorced in their mid-40s. I'd lived through the failure of a unit, yet I was barely into my 30s. This is just my villain origin story.
This is just the drunk on wine feminist version of the dad with the monster tattoo on his arm that says, like, who talks about the importance of loyalty on his Facebook after he gets divorced. And how he's like, you can't trust him, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is just that, but for women.
This is why I agree with the people who say we need to start calling women losers.
My point is more that this is a phenomenon that can relate to both men and women, but the women's version seems to apply almost explicitly to sex. And it's related around that topic, whereas like the guy's one is trying to sound like he's on some mission while posting it on his Instagram stories.
Yeah. So she explains, of course, that she used to be a good girl and bragged about her low body count of just 8 before getting married. And to be clear, that is not a low body count for anyone. That is actually above average.
As Chris Rock would say, if she says 3, it's 10.
But this was part of her identity as a woman, is being a good girl, a chaste woman who was very selective about who she slept with. And that all changed. She said at the time, she clung to this identity because she believed it would protect her and it was her insurance. She thought it meant no one could ever cheat on her, that she would always be loved, happy, and safe. And I'm going to just say, no one should decide to be abstinent or save sex for marriage or relationships or whatever because of the ways they believe it could selfishly serve their own interests. Because if you think that, you're probably going to give it up for the wrong reasons. You know, if I made that decision for the validation of strangers or to create some sort of perception of me that is not real, like, it wouldn't matter as much to me. It wouldn't be a core conviction of mine. So it's all the more fragile when you don't have a deeper reason for that commitment. Mm-hmm. And that's why it obviously went to the wayside as soon as her husband was out of the picture. But she said, in the years leading up to becoming a mother, I came to resent deeply the naivete and inequality that being a good girl left me with. The way every man I liked had slept with more women than I had men, the dissonance I experienced when they talked about a girl they had effed casually and were now friends with. There are women who are capable of that, I wondered. I couldn't relate, but I wanted to. I decided to F my way into a new kind of woman. I wanted to destroy the Madonna, the special girl I'd worked so hard to be before an 8-pound baby had torn my vagina in two and replaced her with the whore. Let's give them a taste of their own medicine, I would joke with friends. Was I punitive, making many men suffer for the crimes of one? I honestly didn't care.
Wait, so who? Give who? Men?
I need women to understand this. Although they're unlikely to ever understand this. If you want to get revenge on a man, it will never involve having sex with him, having sex with his friends, having sex with strangers, having sex with his dad. It will never involve any of those things. Your revenge plot should not consist of having sex with anybody. The best revenge, if that's what you're after, is to not be concerned with that person whatsoever.
Yep.
And to find happiness outside of male validation. But obviously that's just a foreign concept now. And she goes on to describe her long list of forays in the sexual marketplace. She then went on a date with someone named the Elder Millennial who verbally degraded her in bed. Mm-hmm. She also lists vegan graffiti artist with impeccable posture, chef who thought he might have chlamydia, Spanish Gen Zer who couldn't stop sending me nudes, heavily self-medicated son of a billionaire with questionable politics, several Italians, and of course, another DJ. The list goes on, but for legal reasons will not. And then there was Elder Millennial, obsessed with dental hygiene, psychedelics, and dirty talk. So she's going into this longer term casual situationship with Elder Millennial guy. And she's feeling like this is her outlet to pretend to be someone that she's not, someone with more emotional detachment. But it's all basically role play for her. And she goes into her first in-person meeting with her divorce attorney, who gives her a pep talk. And this is where she relays a moment of self-empowerment, a self-revelation that she didn't anticipate. So the divorce attorney says to her, I see a lot of cases, women who are abused emotionally, sexually, physically, monetarily. Last week, I had a client who I'd been working with for months, gathering information we needed to make sure her divorce would be seamless. Her husband was awful to her, just awful. But she called me yesterday and told me she was no longer divorcing him. You should be proud of yourself. Most women don't leave. So she's basically implying here that her now ex-husband was abusive.
Mm-hmm.
I think that opens her up to a lawsuit, but we'll see if that pans out. She says she left the office that day with an unexpected gift, a new kind of understanding of myself. Leaving my marriage wasn't about seeking anyone's attention or approval. It was the opposite, a hard choice that came with a lot of pain and at a great cost. Becoming a single mother changed the way people looked at me, exactly as I'd feared it would. But it also allowed me to finally see myself. I wasn't left, I left. I knew then that being able to leave, to say no, was the only real superpower I had gained through divorce. I was brave, really, actually brave. So there's this sing-songy proclamation of her own self-empowerment that she has unlocked through the power of divorce. But it's quickly drained of all of its narrative importance because directly after she leaves the divorce office, she then goes over to see Elder Millennial and break up with him. But this ends in her reluctantly, begrudgingly hooking up with him for one last time, in which he slaps her non-consensually in the face and calls her a bitch during sex. So she did not, in fact, gain the power of saying no or self-respect or having her own desires and identity outside of male validation. That I don't know why she even included that part in the story if it was immediately negated by the very next part. But anyway, all this is basically a humiliation ritual, whether she knows that or not.
She does not know that.
She's not the only woman who does this sort of confessional essay writing online, by far. There are many examples of this. And it's basically for the purpose of demanding people look at you. And you don't really care what kind of feedback you get, as long as you get some sort of attention, negative or positive. That's what they're after. But it reminded me of Caroline Calloway. And it's hard to really explain who Caroline Calloway is without getting into her entire story. But basically, she's a blogger who was then exposed as a scammer by a friend of hers. And she continued grifting after the fact and gained a fan base and a hater base all at the same time. But as her reputation was falling, she posted this on Instagram on October 3rd, 2019, following the death of her father. This was her Instagram caption underneath a photo of her in a bikini, I believe. She said, 4 weeks ago to this day, I found out that my dad died. 5 days ago, I found out that he committed suicide. I am sexy and sexual and grief-stricken and shrewd and zany and romantic and generous and imaginative and manipulative and reckless and ambitious and good. I have generalized anxiety disorder and chronic depression, and I used to be addicted to Adderall. I'm fantastic with words, and I refuse to let the world force me into being any smaller than the messy whole of who I am, just because some parts of me may seem confusing or contradicting or inconvenient. They are. Humans are. So that was her asserting her right to be sexual and horny in the wake of
her dad's death
and grief of her dad's death. Yes. And similarly, Emrata is asserting her right to be a single mom who's sexy.
It's just so...
Here's the thing. There are multiple archetypes of femininity that one can embody as a woman in the world, and it usually changes throughout your life. You start out as a maiden, you become a mother, and you become later on a matriarch with a more powerful position in your family and your community. If you try in a moment of hubris, poorly equipped to embody 2 or more of these archetypes at the same time, you'll quickly find that you are neither of them, and you've actually extinguished anything feminine about you altogether. That's the mistake that I think Emrata made here. But sure, like, the point of the essay is I can breastfeed my baby in the morning and suck dick at night and deal with it, chuds. That was the big finish.
It's an ode to narcissism.
Yeah.
I can't think of it any other way. It's just a humongous ode to narcissism and an obsession of self.
Mm-hmm. Enough said.
All right, let's move on. There's more fun to be had today.
On a much lighter note, this is just something that piqued my interest recently. I remember the Eras Tour being the record-breaking, highest-grossing tour of all time. It took place for multiple years. And I think in order to perform at that high of a level for hours at a time, constantly on the road, you are entitled, especially with hundreds of employees, contractors, and thousands of fans relying on you, to a little bit of diva behavior, if you want to see it that way. So I don't blame Taylor Swift for this, but she got a lot of flack for her demands while on tour. That includes her hospitality rider. And I didn't know the term before, but it basically describes your list of specifications, what you expect at every stop when you get to a new city on tour. And that includes amenities, catering, and drinks for where you'll be staying on that tour. And the tour company or promoter is responsible for fulfilling all the demands on your contract. They agree to it, and you have to hold them to it. So this is actually one of the tamer examples. When we'll get into more extreme demands later on, this was the Eras Tour hospitality rider. 2 bottles of finest red wine. I'll say that's already humble, because if you don't specify the specific type of wine, I mean, I think that's open to interpretation. It's not that hard. So 12 bottles of mineral water chilled.
They didn't list the temperature. I'm kind of sad about that.
Yeah.
Like, there should have been like a temperature of like exactly what.
She's really easygoing as far as I can tell. 1 bottle of chocolate milk chilled. 1 bottle of Welch's grape juice chilled. 6 cans of Diet Pepsi chilled. 12 Fortnum and Mason tea bags assorted. See, it's not even specifying like it has to be this flavor of tea. She's really go with the flow. 1 bag of Tostitos tortilla chips, 1 container of lemon hummus, 1 tub of Greek yogurt, 1 jar of Manuka honey, 1 jar of Pache picante sauce, mild. Never heard of that.
Pace. That's a brand. I'm surprised, if I'm being completely honest.
Wow.
The old Pace commercials were amazing.
1 bag of Kraft shredded cheddar cheese, 3 boxes of Kraft macaroni cheese, stick of butter, a bag of Twizzlers, 2 tubs of Ben & Jerry's, and a box of microwave popcorn. Again, not even specifying the flavor of Ben & Jerry's means she's really laid back as far as touring performers go.
This is my favorite. It circled the chalky milk in the mac and cheese and said, "Aw, Travis is traveling with her."
Yeah, he needs the kiddie food.
He needs the
but that was
chalky
before they
milk.
were together, I
Okay,
think.
there
Right?
you go. I don't know.
Since they started dating in 2024,
Okay.
I believe. Anyways, so this prompted a lot of discussion and debate in the replies about whether this is a reasonable list of demands. And people didn't know that all artists and bands do this, and it's par for the course. Obviously, they have to survive on the road. The rider, according to one person, is mostly used to keep people honest to their contract. I believe Van Halen was one of the first to really do this. But then someone claps back and says, no, it's to make sure they have stuff to eat and drink because they're going to be at the venue for 6 to 10 hours and have no other way to get food. And then he says, having had to run around town for several artists to fulfill their rider, I can assure you, most go untouched. The only artist that I had dealt with that would eat their rider was Snoop. When artists want to eat their eating catering, that is provided and generally curated for them. So these riders, for the most part, are not even touched by the artist who is on tour, which again adds to the perception that this is diva behavior because people put in hours of work to fulfill these needs and it's not going appreciated.
We have a 20 here from Herbert Joseph Oh, it's Crispy Leg. Yeah, how's it going, dude? Says, Mary, have you ever thought about getting a darker background? Some of your hair is blending in with the wall. How about getting some darker hair?
I prefer looking like I'm one with the wall.
There you go.
So Van Halen is a huge part of this story, and they kind of ran so that, or they walked so that like people like Taylor Swift could run in a way. Someone explained that Van Halen almost got sued by a college in the 80s because their stage damaged the floor when it clearly stated in their contract that special support was needed because of the stage's weight. That's why contract riders became a thing. So that is actually part of a true story, and Van Halen were the reason why people have this perception of color-coded M&Ms. Where did the story or the urban legend really start and the real story begin? It was, according to who you ask, it was like only green M&Ms, or it was Skittles, or they demanded no brown M&Ms, or they demanded only brown M&Ms. So I looked into this further and found that this was confirmed. They had a 53-page long tour rider, and that included a list of oddball demands ranging from herring in sour cream, countless bottles of alcohol, and of course, in the munchies section, we find M&Ms, warning, absolutely no brown ones. And I'll actually just quote directly from the article 126 in their Guinness World Record holding tour rider. There will be no brown M&Ms in the backstage area, upon pain of forfeiture of the show with full compensation. This is buried in the middle of countless technical specifications. And they did this for a very specifically intended reason. So someone at each venue was given the job of plucking the brown M&Ms out of the selection. And in 1982, there were actually 2 shades of brown M&Ms at the time. I didn't know this. One was brown and one was tan, which was eventually eliminated to make way for blue. That infamous request for no brown M&Ms spawned both urban legend and a joke in Wayne's World 2. Why the demand? According to the Smoking Gun, if brown M&Ms were in the backstage candy bowl, Van Halen surmised that more important aspects of the performance, like lighting, staging, security, and ticketing, may have been botched by an inattentive promoter. Thank you. So basically, it was a shit test because they were trying to make sure that they weren't just skimming over all of the specifications about pyrotechnics and stage dimensions and lighting displays and audio. Like they buried this in the middle of their contract. So if they saw that a venue followed their instructions, they knew the rest of it was right too. And that spawned the name of the Van Halen test, referring to any question that is asked to assess whether the full set of instructions given to another party has been thoroughly and correctly read. And then I realized I had been Van Halen tested before. In school, I think a lot of people remember this.
Yeah,
you would start a pop quiz or a test or a homework assignment, and there would be a list of like 5 points of instructions. And it buried at like number 4, it would say like, put a smiley face on page 3 for extra credit. And the kids who didn't read the instructions, of course, kicked themselves after turning in their assignment when they realized that they would have gotten an extra point had they read the instructions. So Van Halen originated this, but I don't know if that really vindicates all of these other artists and touring bands for their infamous tour rider demands.
Why so? What do you mean? Like, why doesn't it vindicate them?
Because I think in a lot of these cases, maybe they are just being divas and it's not because they're trying to hold their tour promoters accountable at all.
I mean, like, I guess it depends on what your term for diva there is. Like, diva behavior to me there would be having a bunch of outlandish requests with no time to fill it. Having a bunch of specified requests with time to fill it isn't diva behavior.
Right.
That's what you're worth given how much your band brings in.
Right, yeah. And I mean, in Van Halen's case, it's obviously just good business practice.
Yeah, exactly. We got a 20 from Pop Culture Junkie. Says, the closest I ever had to hospitality rider was to get a bunch of obscure items specified to come from Whole Foods for the green room for Tyra Banks for a morning show interview in Houston.
I'm surprised that she eats.
Yeah.
Or ate back then.
I mean, maybe she was like giving the food to everyone else.
Wow. Yeah, I thought the same thing about Taylor Swift. I was like, I highly doubt that she's eating a bunch of Kraft mac and cheese while she's on the road.
I mean, maybe it's for somebody else. Maybe it's for her assistant. Maybe her assistant likes chalky milk and mac and cheese.
And the wine too. Like, even drinking moderately while you're touring is bad for your vocal cords. It's probably for the team.
You know,
not
speaking
herself.
of Taylor Swift, your tweet about her has gone like uber mega viral on Instagram. It was like attached to like...
Yeah, and that's when I realized I am a sucker for not screenshotting my tweets and posting them on my own page.
Yeah, you should.
I'm going to change that if I can get over my vanity of having an aesthetic feed. But anyway, I wanted to get into more examples of these hospitality riders. Starting with Mariah Carey, an infamous diva, who I believe has earned the right, like many of these people.
Wait, wait, you're not starting with Beyonce?
We'll get to her.
Okay.
Mariah Carey would demand 20 white kittens and 100 white doves, sometimes described as symbolic, plus specific candles such as Joe Malone vanilla, white roses, drapes, tall leafy plants, a living room-like setup. Her riders have been called extravagant and high maintenance, fueling tabloids about her needing a gold room vibe or crystal with bendy straws.
Look, she's earned it. She's earned it.
Beyonce has been criticized similarly for demanding titanium straws, hand-carved ice balls, dressing room at exactly 78 degrees, heavily seasoned chicken legs, because, you know, she has hot sauce in her bag, rose-scented candles, Pepsi only due to her brand deal with Pepsi.
Well, that's fantastic. I'm in support of this now.
And
Coke can get bent.
Bruce Springsteen had a 37-page rider leaked in 2023 demanding chicken soup heavy on the broth, 2 99-cent bags of rolled gold pretzels, no substitutions, 21 dressing room couches, 16 tall plants, an acrylic nail specialist, specific beers except Budweiser, and more. And
again, like any alcohol, like you said, seems like a bad idea.
Right. It's probably not for them. Then we've got Kanye.
Wait. Before we get into that, Jay-Z prefers his dressing rooms at 72 degrees. I smell a fight going on.
72 degrees comes up for most of these performers.
Is there a
they
reason
ask
for that?
72 degrees in their dressing rooms, except for Beyonce. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just the ideal temperature.
That's still too warm for me.
For me, that's like too cold, but I would be more like Beyonce. I would want 78 degrees. Kanye would demand cylindrical vases for flowers, a barber's chair, 100% cotton suits for his drivers, no man-made fibers, a Coke Hennessy slushy machine. That one is probably the most unique of the list. Rihanna would require a large plush animal print rug for walking on something soft and luxurious, a 6-foot white plush couch with no leather, dimmable lamps, throw pillows, and specific expensive candles. Katy Perry asked for a Bob Hope impersonator. She demanded no talking and no eye contact with drivers. That's a little bit like, don't touch me, peasant.
No, I mean, that's a very common one you think of. Like, whenever a TV show does some type of satire of, like, a pop star or something, it's like, don't make eye contact with Mrs. So-and-so or Mr. So-and-so. Like, no, don't look them directly in the eye.
She wanted egg-colored chairs, not white chairs.
Who are
They
these
have to be
people in the
egg
chat
colored.
that are asking for 70? Like Josh Chandler in the chat says 79 to 81. That is crazy work to me.
That's too hot, even for me.
Like
I keep my apartment at like 75.
we have no AC in here right now, so I've got literally I have 2 fans on me at all times.
It's hell. Yeah. Madonna would demand that her backstage set would look exactly like her home. They would ship her own furniture. They would also provide a vegan chef and an extensive entourage support. Iggy Pop had a 28-page rider with humorous and absurd bits asking for 7 dwarves. Justin Bieber asked for extensive food, gaming setups, and other specifics. I believe it was like whatever was the latest PlayStation. Adele would ask for chicken salad sandwiches, Marlboro Lights, and the best quality red wine, 6 metal teaspoons, and she also banned organic honey. She only wants the fake stuff, I guess.
Well, there's a better example of all of this. Do you remember hearing the story about Downeyland? Robert Downey Jr.'s like basically has his own private like space on the Avengers set.
No.
Like basically they ship in his home and rebuild it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I understand that like at a certain level of success, you do have a right to make some demands that to some people might seem outrageous. But
Robert Downey Jr. is that person.
I don't know. Like that one actually is like a little bit unhinged.
No, he was the linchpin of Marvel. He has like if anybody has that status there, it's him.
He does have the status, but it's like I know you can, but should you? You know?
Yeah, that's a better question.
And Justin Bieber specifically wanted a convoy of 10 luxury sedans, 2 Volvo buses at his disposal, and his entourage of 120 people, with a Rolls-Royce reserved for himself. 10 containers will be flown in with a ping pong table, a PlayStation, sofa set, washing machine, refrigerator, upholstery, wardrobe cover, massage table, and arrangements for a jacuzzi also had to be made so he can unwind before taking the stage. And lastly, I don't understand this one. He asked for an Indian yoga casket containing aromatic essential oils of jasmine, mogra, rose, and camphor incense sticks. That was another one that came up with Drake. He would ask for 12 burning incense sticks before he arrives. And if the smell isn't right, someone's getting fired.
So I was wrong. They actually ship his personal furniture. They don't like buy new ones. So they like ship his personal furniture. He will not travel or relocate to film a movie without his current furniture. Any apartment or home that the actor rents while working on a movie, regardless of where the movie is being filmed, needs to be furnished with the furniture from his Los Angeles house so that he can feel more at home. Well, when they spend $100 million just to bring you back for a movie, I guess you have that type of FU money.
That's true.
And he has a convoy of trailers on the set of Avengers Doomsday.
Like, I can't blame him when you're doing something that unconventional and demanding of your time. And also as an actor, you're like emotionally invested in it. You do have to make certain demands that sound outrageous to ordinary people.
This was what Simu Liu said about being summoned to Downeyland. It said,
oh, great.
Downey famously has his own convoy of trailers, and this whole area is in base camp that we affectionately called Downeyland, he said. And I remember getting invited to Downeyland for the first time and just showing up in this tent, and it's all beautiful Andy Warhol-esque artwork, except for all the characters are Downey. I mean, he's so self-aware. I can't tell if he's being sarcastic there. So he greeted me, and then I didn't realize that Downeyland had its own chefs, but I had brought my set lunch, and he was like, no. We don't do that here. The chefs had come and laid out this full buffet, and I was like, I'll put this away. And then just the people started walking through. I was like, I cannot believe I'm having lunch with these people. Must be nice. He's got his own chefs out there at Downeyland.
I think deserved.
He's if anybody can command that on set there, it's absolutely him. And like a personal chef isn't like the craziest thing for a big name celebrity to have for themselves, especially if there's somebody with a bad allergy and they want to make sure something bad doesn't happen to them.
The Foo Fighters have been known to ask for coloring books. I don't know whether I should find that charming. Paul McCartney would demand no leather or animal-based materials be anywhere near his dressing room. Is he vegan? I suppose that must be why. Justin Timberlake demands that every doorknob that he might touch be disinfected every 2 hours.
Well, he's going to get super sick. His immune system isn't going to work.
I think there were more here.
There's a lot of them on that list. Did you get to Kanye? I saw Kanye
there's
down there.
Lana.
Yep.
So Lana would have very minimal requests. She asked for a kettle with water and ginger and pizza. Like, that's it.
That's it?
Lana's chill. Lana's a chiller.
Okay.
One Direction would have pretty exhaustive lists. But
that's because multiple people.
Right. Large glass-fronted drinks in fridge, a ping pong table, a pinball table, 3 cases of local beer, 4-star dressing rooms, pleasant ambiance, wall-to-wall freshly cleaned and deodorized carpet, supply of soft toilet tissue and odorless air freshener.
So Eminem wanted both regular Red Bull and sugar-free Red Bull, clearly for different people. Okay.
Or his alter ego, like Slim Shady wants full sugar. Slim Shady wants full sugar Red Bull.
Because he also wants 1 loaf of white bread, 1 loaf of wheat bread. So, he's
bipolar.
He's alter ego right there.
Yeah.
Large, fresh jumbo shrimp with cocktail sauce and plenty of lemons. 1 jar of banana pepper rings. And 6 Lunchables, 3 turkey, and 3 ham and cheese. So obviously, 3 turkey is for him. Ham and cheese is for Slim Shady.
Pink would go on tour with her child, so she would have whiskey for her and pacifiers and string cheese for her daughter. That's sweet.
Yeah.
I guess maybe the whiskey can't overdo it on the whiskey.
Gotta be careful.
What was Jay-Z asking for? It was 2009. He asked for a late model black Maybach, a dressing room at 72 degrees, 2 bottles of $300 Champers, and good quality peanut butter and jelly.
Okay.
And then he would also factor in stuff for Blue Ivy, including child-proofing when she was younger. I think that's reasonable. Breakable objects have to be removed.
Yeah.
Organic whole milk.
6 cans of Coke, 6 cans of Red Bull, 6 cans of vitamin water.
You know what? People want to be mad about this because they have a hatred in their heart for rich people. I think that's honestly where it's all coming from. And that eat the rich mentality is only gaining more and more traction in the court of public opinion. But honestly, for the most part, I don't bat an eye at any of this.
Nope.
I think it's pretty reasonable. And you got to applaud Van Halen for thinking ahead.
Very, very smart. All right. Let's go to Super Chats then. We got some there.
Okay. Katie said, today the West Australian police in my city say they are using tracking tech to watch everyone while mass migration is out of control in my city. That's actually not just you guys over in Australia. There's AI tracking technology being implemented in a lot of major cities in America as well. I believe it's called flock cameras.
Okay.
There are a lot of them actually here in Nashville, and everyone's pissed about it, but we don't have a say.
You know what I found most interesting about those lists? There was no Monster. It was all Red Bull. Nobody was drinking any Monster energy drink or any of the actual good
They're
ones.
like, oh, Monster is for the poor.
Plus, they're not even drinking. Like if I'm to assume that they got the 8-ounce cans, it's like 80 milligrams of caffeine. It's not even all that much.
Maybe they're not supposed to have that much
Their
caffeine.
body is a temple. They can only have a little bit of caffeine.
Brian Bledsoe said GTA 6 pre-orders June 25th. Is it really happening? Maybe it's like the Memorandum of Understanding, you know?
For what? Say it again.
The GTA 6 pre-orders. Maybe we can draw a comparison between that and the Memorandum of Understanding. Maybe they'll finally sign an MOU when GTA 6 comes out, or vice versa.
Tyrone in the chat says, Monster has ultra red, white, and blue Raz. I tried it. It was mid.
Guys, there's Patriot waffles at Waffle House for July 4th. I have to share this with you because I felt like I was losing it. So I guess on July 4th, you can order a waffle that has red, white, and blue pop rocks on it. They're like fireworks, you know, like fireworks on a waffle.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty gross. But I did order the Waffle House cold brew. They just released their own Waffle House brand canned cold brew.
Really? Now I
liked
gotta
it a
try
lot.
that.
You definitely have to.
Where'd you get it?
At Waffle House.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's like you can get a canned Waffle
I don't know
House.
if you can buy it at like Walmart or something yet, but you can get it at Waffle House.
So I have to go to a Waffle House to get a Waffle House branded. Is it like in a can? Not. Oh, okay. I might have to try that.
It was pretty good.
Get a Waffle
It is
House.
high calorie. I'm just warning you. I think it was like 200.
How big?
something.
How big of it? How big was it?
It was definitely. It seemed bigger than a Starbucks.
I mean, that's a
canned cold
lot of
brew.
calories. Like, isn't the whole point of cold brew is that it's usually less calories than like an iced coffee?
Only if you get it black.
Like I get like the
If you get like what Black Rifle, most of the Black Rifle coffees are like insanely high calorie.
the concentrate that I get is like one, like it says no calories on the back if you were to have it black or whatever. But then I put in a little bit of creamer. It's like 30 calories, but I don't even use like enough to make it even give it enough flavor. It literally just makes it look not like a Coca-Cola.
Right.
At that point.
The Waffle House one has sweet cream. That's why.
I stopped drinking they would get Starbucks here in the mornings, and I finally just cut it out.
You went cold turkey?
I got it. I cut it out. I have my coffee in the morning, and I have my 5-hour energy that I sip, not drink all at once during the show to try and cut back on the caffeine. And after cutting out the middle caffeine drink and minimizing the second caffeine drink, those nightly runs are definitely
stress on your body.
Yeah, it's not the same.
You should still get the egg bites at Starbucks though. Those are really good.
Usually I get in too late for them to I'm guessing they're probably bad by that point.
Maybe, yeah. Well, they are from a freezer in the first place. So Shane H. Wilder said, legend foretells if GTA 6 releases, it will signal the end times and calamity and destruction will befall the earth. This is why they don't release it.
It's possible. I mean, that
there are merciful leaders.
It might be part of that might be something they discuss at Davos every year. They're like, do we put it out this year? And every year, what's that guy's name that everybody, who's the guy from Davos? Not
the
Soros.
guy who runs the thing?
What was his name? Not Soros, the other guy. The comically evil guy.
Gosh, I don't know. Is it Alex Soros?
It's not Soros. It's another guy. Can't remember his name. Anyways, doesn't matter. They probably have that discussion every year.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Somebody in the chat will know who I'm talking about.
Shane H. Wilder said, no one ever mentioned that Daveigh also played Samantha Darko in Donnie Darko, her breakout role, and its sequel.
I never saw S. Darko.
I didn't know it had a sequel.
Klaus Schwab. Thank you.
Oh, right.
Klaus Schwab every year decides whether...
I always think when we're grasping for a certain word, people are at home screaming it at the computer.
Well, because if you're listening to a podcast, you're screaming it in there, right?
It's happened to me.
That's the thing. You think before you do this that you'll remember everything all the time, but whether it's because you're focusing on one train of thought or you're doing multiple things at once. There are times where I forget how much actually seeing a picture of an actor helps me think of their name. I can look at a picture of an actor and know who I'm talking about right away. But if I'm describing a movie he's in, even if I can see him clearly in my mind, it doesn't come as quickly to me as if you put their picture in front of me.
Shane H. Wilder said, Avenged Sevenfold wrote a satirically dark song called Little Piece of Heaven that fully encompasses the Jelly Roll Bunny XO relationship.
They probably were Affliction. If you're the if you're the
wait.
non-celebrity version of Bunny XO in Jelly Roll, you wear Affliction, or you did wear
Maybe
Affliction.
they still do, you know?
They're like, we never forgot where we came from.
I'm gonna look up this song because now
You'll have to read me the lyrics.
I'm curious.
I want to know what the lyrics are.
Before the story begins, is it such a sin for me to take what's mine until the end of time? We were more than friends before the story ends, and I will take what's mine, create what God would never design. Our love had been so strong for far too long. I was weak with fear that something would go wrong. Before the possibilities came true, I took all possibility from you. Almost laughed myself to tears, conjuring her deepest fears. Come here, you effing bitch. Must have stabbed her 50 effing times. I can't believe it. Ripped her heart out before her eyes. Eyes over easy. Eat it, eat it, eat it. Wow. Okay, we get the picture. Goes a little bit Sid and Nancy. Shane H. Wilder said, taking from forums rarely works. The only other success I can think of is the sci-fi series Channel Zero, based on popular creepypastas. It ran 4 seasons.
I've never seen it, but I would be interested to know who it was that did the that was the showrunner for it. Brandon's
Remember Slender Man movie?
Nick Antikoska. Let me see who this guy is.
I wonder if they ever did that.
The guy who did the show you're talking about, Channel Zero, is the guy he's a writer on the Cape Fear series that just came out.
Oh, okay. So they did make a Slender Man movie that came out in 2018, but I don't remember it making much of a splash.
So this guy
Had
also
potential.
did episodes of the show Believe, which I really, really wanted to succeed back in 2014. It didn't. He did a couple episodes of Hannibal. You know, he's got some credit there. Like, again, like maybe I'm just, I don't know what it would look like, but anytime you see like a showrunner these days, you're like, how did you get that job? Like back in the day, it felt like you had to be a writer for a long ass time before you got a chance to like run a show.
Oh, none of the Channel Zero episodes came from Reddit. Yeah. I mean, they're basically copying AI. They're copying what large language models are doing. So much of the data that large language models are trained on comes from Reddit, and it's an unmistakable cadence and lexicon, and it makes it impossible to read it without getting irked.
I've literally heard of none of these actors except somehow Rutger Hauer was just in there.
Rutger Hauer?
Yeah, like that's
Never heard of him.
Yeah, he's a big name guy. He was in Sin City and the original Blade Runner and all sorts of other stuff in the 80s and the 90s. But the point is like he's just kind of there, and the rest of them are all people I've never heard of before. It looks kind of interesting. I mean, creepypasta TV doesn't really interest me, but
yeah, has potential. But just like imagine being the guy who like wrote the original creepypasta about, I don't know, Jeff the Killer, and you're just like, damn it, I could have been rich.
Yeah. Never mind. I remember Maria Sten. She's from Reacher, so there's one other name there that I remember.
Grofty said, thanks for being great background noise for the end of my shift. PCC Starlink Mobile might be a merry search item that could help.
What? Like for what? Your internet was going like your internet today was going all yellow, orange, and then as soon as we get to the super chat, it's just green. Perfect.
Wait,
great.
Is it not yellow right now?
Nope.
Okay, it looks like different on my end.
No. I'm talking about your internet bars, like the things that tell me what your internet.
Yeah, I'm
is.
looking at it right now, and it's yellow.
Mine says green.
We must, I don't know why, but we must see it differently on each end. Shane H. Wilder said, between the boyfriend and agent, it all seems sus.
Yeah. It like maybe this is why I thought about this. There was like and somebody will laugh because there's an old episode of Castle in season 2, where this young pop star who wants to stop being a pop star leaves and then gets taken in once she gets sober by this good-meaning producer that happened to be a husband and wife. And as you can imagine, it was not good-meaning. And bad things happened, and that's not a far-fetched concept to make a TV episode out of, because as we can see, it mirrors itself in real life. Now, obviously, we don't know if this guy, for all we know, this guy actually is a producer with a heart of gold who did an interview like literally 26 minutes after she was declared dead. I don't know.
Seems unlikely.
But it seems unlikely.
Yeah. Shane H. Wilder said, Emily Ratatouille, what is this? PCC circa 2023?
I feel like she was more of a 2024 for us.
No, definitely 23, like post-divorce for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, history rhymes, right?
I do also want to thank Grofty for he gifted 10 PCC channel memberships.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Burned Oils said, Mary, are women still virgins if they just kiss? Well, I think you can look up virgin in the dictionary and you'll find the answer. Crispy Leg Transport said, Mary...
I got that one, I think.
Oh, about my background. Yeah. Stefan Buttle said, need a Mary face on wall emoji? How would that work?
It would just look like Mary's face.
I would look like that one... Doctor Who villain. She was just a sheet of skin. Pop Culture Junkie. I think you read that one earlier as well. Brian Bledsoe said, as for Emily, a quote I've heard often from the Dadvocate, we can't save these hoes, but we can learn from them.
Yep.
This is true. Shane H. Wilder said, Mary, say pace picante. Wait, what is it then?
It's
in
pace.
Latin made me. Oh, pace?
It's the brand is like pace picante sauce. Yep.
There's no fucking way that it's pronounced pace.
If I remember correctly.
In Spanish?
I mean, I'm just remembering the American commercials for it.
Ain't no way. If that's in Spanish, there's no way you say pace.
Maybe they just never actually said the brand name, but I always thought they did.
Also, don't change your lighting, Mary. After all, you're just another brick in the wall. That's me. Shane H. Wilder said, Alice Cooper requires an old cheesy kung fu movie that he watches before going on stage. Also, 75 to 76 is the perfect temp. You're going to get some people fighting you on that last part.
Okay, I'm sorry. I have to play this commercial. You're not going to be able to hear it because it's not screen shared, but
we need evidence.
I need to know it.
I hope we don't get flagged for this.
It would be hilarious.
More pace, second target song.
He said pace, okay?
Okay, I know that they're saying it pace because it's an American commercial.
I wasn't sure, though. I was like, maybe I missed...
Spanish, there's no way.
I gotta finish this. Hold on.
Salsa? Well, woo, doggies. Pace is made with big chunks of tomatoes, onions, and peppers.
Oh.
Perfect for
I didn't like the way it came out of the jar.
San Antonio.
Who know what salsa should taste like.
Well, this stuff's made in New York City. New York City.
Jake, it's time you switch brands.
Holy shit! We need commercials like this back, ladies and gentlemen. He just threatened to brand a man for having a sauce from a place they didn't like. They said like, "Well, this stuff's made in New York City." Then he threatened to brand him with the letter P.
That was intense.
You know that the only people more unhinged than lawyers are probably ad executives and the people who come up with ads.
Yeah, but they just use AI now.
Yeah, it's boring.
Corey Anderson said, just got here. What did I miss?
Not much.
I guess we can start from scratch for you. Corey Anderson said, I keep my house at 70 during the day, 65 at night.
Oh, that's what I'm talking
65
about.
At night is crazy, though.
Nope, that's perfect.
What? I don't know. I guess women just need it to be like 75 in order to not complain, but
we have like our air on, we have an overhead fan, and I have a secondary third fan that's on me
that's insane.
when we sleep.
That's insane. Burned Oil said, when show ends, does Mary keep talking or she finally stops?
She just keeps going.
Yeah. When we sign off, Brett's still on the call with me. And yeah, I just kind of move on to the next topic. He's like, Mary, it's okay.
We got enough for the week. We're good.
Time to call it.
Yep.
Boston said, you guys rock. Great show today. Mary the Pale and Terrible. You need to call your fans so you can actually take over the Ren Fair next year. LOL. Yeah, it was a failed mission, but it was really all about the friends we made along the way. $2 for Ghostly Victorian Dime Piece Mary, as always. Thank you.
Yep.
Pop Culture Junkie said, Mary, enjoyed your Ren Fair internet show. Well shot, edited, packaged, overcast sky lit you both very well. Very good improvisation and quite funny. Thank you. Very much appreciate it.
People always want overcast lighting if you want to be able to control it. That was so I had a friend who not just like a professional photographer, but like he retired at like 35 because he shot ads for Target and just made a crap ton of money really, really quickly.
Good for him.
But like anytime we would like if it was overcast, we were skating because he loved to be able to set up his lights and control the lighting on days because that's such a rare thing to be able to do because usually you don't have much control over the sky.
Mm-hmm. Brian Bledsoe said, a chef, one of the first things when I hit the lotto.
There you go.
Yeah, that would be ideal. I think I
would do. I think I would too. Like I was talking to Phil about it yesterday because we were talking like I was just like can you give me some like good meals that are good for protein but you know low in calories and stuff like that. I think that's the first thing I would do if I had that type of money is to like be able to pay to not have to make my own food.
If you asked me that, I'd be like, I can tell you, but you're not gonna like it.
Well, you know,
because it's just egg whites.
Well, I mean,
it's egg whites and plain Greek yogurt.
I know, I know that yogurt. I'm talking, but you don't eat the yogurt for dinner necessarily. Though lately, I've been drinking a lot of protein shakes in place of meals. But you know, it also doesn't work because I'm not a huge fan of chicken, and I'm especially not a huge fan of like unseasoned bland ass chicken. So you know, which is like a staple there, but like lean ground beef and potatoes basically.
Not liking chicken is crazy work.
It's not that. It's that like I just depends on where. Like chicken strips at a restaurant, sure. I won't eat McDonald's chicken nuggets. No. But I'll eat.
You think you're too good for a McNugget?
No, I had a bad experience when I was younger that kind of ruined it.
Wait, what?
I just had a bad experience. I got really sick
does that mean?
after I got sick after eating them when I was younger and have not eaten them since.
That's just
probably had nothing to do with it, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then but I will absolutely eat Burger King chicken nuggets, which I love.
I like that Burger King puts like pepper on them.
Yeah, me too.
A little pepper on the nuggets. Shane H. Wilder said, you didn't miss much. S. Darko was horrible. That's probably why I never heard of it. Yep. Corey Anderson said, Mary, how is your BF doing? Hope all is well. He's fine. Shane H. Wilder said, I didn't plan on you reading the lyrics. The song is 11 minutes long. It's supposed to be an allegory of a toxic relationship. The GF becomes a killer zombie.
Well,
let's hope that same fate doesn't befall the Rolls.
We'll
just call them the Rolls now.
Yeah.
How about that? Corey Anderson said, apropos, thank you. Number 3?
2.
But why does it say 3?
Oh, no, yep. 3.
You seem so confident saying it was 2.
3, yeah. I guess I'm just... I guess I'm just like I'm phasing into another dimension today.
You're
something.
Losing it a little bit over there. It's Friday afternoon, you know. Corey Anderson said, apropos to nothing, but Jag is a great binge show.
Look, I've tried.
What is that?
Jag was the prequel series to NCIS from like the late 90s. I've tried. I'm going to be honest.
It came out before
NCIS? Before NCIS. I don't really like and again, maybe it doesn't go this direction, but I just imagine that they spend a lot of time in courtrooms. I hate courtroom shit. It's why I can only watch one of the Law and Orders, because like a lot of Law and Order ends up being like trial too. I don't know if the regular Law and Order is like that, but Law and Order Criminal Intent spends almost no time in the courtroom, which is why I like that one. But I'm just not a huge fan of courtroom dramas. Except for, I don't even, cause Suits wasn't a courtroom drama. Boston Legal kind of was, but the show was so unhinged it didn't matter.
Brian Bledsoe said, these brands poking fun at FIFA for covering up their logos at the World Cup has turned into a marketing Streisand effect. I didn't know about this.
I did see that apparently there's like a Pride Night soccer match and the two teams playing are like Qatar. It's like two Middle Eastern countries.
They're not going to like
It's
that.
Egypt in another country, I think.
What?
Yeah.
It's like illegal to be gay in both of those places.
Correct.
What the fuck?
It was just something somebody mentioned
What are they doing?
Somebody called into IRL last night and said that. Maybe it's not true, but
Oh gosh, okay. Corey Anderson said, Growth is a good dude. I see him in Vera's live streams all the time. Support the content you enjoy. Don't watch a internet show. Who is Growth?
I have no idea.
I have no idea what that means. I'm sorry. But yes, don't watch.
Who is Growth?
He's saying Growth is a good dude. I have no idea.
I have no idea.
Cancel Lincoln, the betrayal of 1776, said love bomb incoming. I don't know if you guys realize it, but you're a bright spot in many of our days, and I appreciate you two more than you know. You're both very talented and wise people. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you.
Oh, nice.
Wait, there's $100 super chat here. That's why we're at 3.
Where is it? What?
From Drummer says mobile YouTube app
Oh my
won't
gosh.
allow me to gift memberships, so here you go. See,
Well,
I'm not
thank
crazy.
you.
I'm not crazy, okay?
Okay, I was confused too, but I wasn't willing to admit it. Thank you very much. We appreciate
Thank
the
you for
crisis
that.
party. That is weird about the mobile app not letting you gift memberships. I didn't know.
It lets
that was
me
the case.
like when I use YouTube on my phone. I've never used that button, but I see it next to the super chat button.
YouTube is weird sometimes, but thank you again.
Yeah.
Corey Anderson said Grofty is what I meant. Darn autocorrect. Okay, so we weren't talking about a guy named Growth. We were talking about Grofty. Okay.
Here it is. Iran and Egypt will meet uncomfortably in Seattle's World Cup Pride match.
Ooh. That's no good. That's no good. Are they going to boycott?
I have no idea.
Yikes.
I
man.
said, like, we need the lady who was asking Millie Alcock about being a queer icon to go and ask questions at this event to the players.
Yeah. What does pride mean to you?
Yes.
High Voltage 75 said, Brett, Stuttering Craig mentioned he's coming to Timcast soon. You should ask him to come back on PCC.
I had no idea he was coming back. He was gonna do like a bonus episode with me one time, and then bro just left me on red.
What?
he had stuff going on. It was we
you were airing out some dirty
No.
laundry for a
It
second.
was because it was right after I had Blabs on, so. He was supposed to come on, then like he got busy, and then he was like, I think he was out of town and stuff like that. But yeah, if he has the availability to do both, at least if it's on a Tuesday or a Thursday, we could do that.
Or you could like do something for members. Whatever.
Yes, we could do that.
Shane H. Wilder said, I grew up in the desert, so I enjoy it warmer. As for pace, as a Texan, I've had a lot of pace picante sauce. It's great on hash browns and eggs.
I don't know if I've ever actually had any, but I didn't actually start liking like chips and salsa until like a couple years ago. So maybe I will get some.
What do you mean you didn't start liking chips and salsa until that? Like everybody likes chips and salsa.
I never
Everybody.
did. I never did.
You really weird me out sometimes with your food preferences.
It happens.
I do not get it. Corey Anderson said the wife likes the temp cold, just bought a new HVAC, so it gets really cold. It gets cold really quick. Sorry. And we have portable AC in the master bedroom as well. That is rare for a woman to prefer it to be 65 in the house.
That is
That is unheard of.
I mean, Olivia's the same as me. She's the first to put the fan on before we go to bed. So
well, you know what this means? It's probably an indicator that you guys are healthier than me, because if you run hot, you have a well-functioning metabolism.
I was always told that once you start losing weight, you start getting cold.
It definitely happened to me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I assume it's like iron deficiency on my part. Corey Anderson said, "What type of hot sauce do you like? Tabasco goes on my eggs. Texas Pete, the Navy uses to clean brass. Cholula on most everything else."
Do you have hot sauce preferences? I'm not a hot sauce person.
I am a major hot sauce person. So at Waffle House or like any restaurant, usually all they have is Tabasco. So I use that, and I just basically drench everything I eat in it if it's available. But at home, I have a stash of Diablo sauce that I've stolen from Taco Bell. And that's what I use at home. I literally go inside and I'm just surreptitiously taking entire fistfuls of it.
They don't care.
It's I'm quickly just taking all of it and I leave. I don't want them to get mad at me.
The funny thing is I have sauces at home for tacos, and in my quest to lose, which I'm about 3 pounds away from where I wanted to get to by the end of summer. Right. So I've got, I was making my tacos the other night, and I looked at the sauce very sadly and was like, "So long, partner." I just avoided it. Just not doing it for the time being. The point that I've kind of come to realize is I'm not the person who likes to eat because it tastes good. It's either because I'm bored or because I'm hungry, right? And so cutting out the bored eating was the hardest part. Otherwise, I'm all whatever's the most efficient. I don't care if my food looks good or any of that stuff. I literally just want to eat. So cutting out the sauce that I do not need, just another way to help. But
that's why hot sauce is so great, because I think, unless all of these companies are lying to me, it has 0 calories. Perhaps. So I drench everything in it. Corey Anderson said, "Brett, you ever think of having your brother on as a guest? I imagine he looks like you, but with gray hair and no glasses and taller."
He wears contacts. He's a little bit taller than me. He shaves his head, so not really hair. And I imagine he would rather do literally anything else.
And that's okay. It's not for everyone.
It's not. I don't know if he even knows what I do. I've never sent him an episode.
He knows what you do.
I've never sent him an episode of this show.
Maybe he doesn't watch, but I'm sure he knows vaguely.
It would be weird if he did. Okay,
what your job is.
If my dad and my brother were sending me texts about segments, I'd feel weirdly violated. I'd be like, "You stay over there. We'll talk about baseball, okay? We can talk about baseball."
Brian Bledsoe said, "As a black man, not liking chicken is inconceivable."
I didn't say I didn't like it.
Well, he doesn't like white people chicken. That's what he meant. Shane H. Wilder said, "Kyler sharing my post for the latest internet show was the highlight of my week." Oh, on Instagram? I'll go check that out. Yeah, Kyler's great. Corey Anderson said, "The theme song for a internet show is a banger. Can you release a full version of it?" An internet show. Yeah. That would be nice if we could get a full version. I don't know if it exists though.
We got a 3-month membership chat from Drummer. Says maybe iOS doesn't have that feature. I'm going to look for it. I mean, it's been a long time since I've watched a podcast, a show live and sent a super chat. It's usually I would send that to either Shane or Mandy when Ballers was on, and that was when I would see it. So maybe I'm misremembering something, but I used to think that it had the thing that said you could send a membership or something like that.
Shane H. Wilder said, get a jar extra hot pace. Sorry, I just have to think about it extra hard now. Just remember, it is a chunky sauce with bits of different peppers in it. Mm-hmm. I'll consider it. I'm not really a chunky sauce person.
And that was the other thing. Is it wasn't that I didn't like I liked chips and dip. like different types of dip, but not
Just
a huge
never salsa.
Just not a huge fan of salsa, but I have come around to liking it more like later. It wasn't like it was just specific. Like there used to be a like a Tostino's like like zesty bean and cheese dip that was really really good, and they got rid of it, and now it's just like enchilada dip, but they like only have it during the football season. But now I can't even do that because I'll just feel guilty for eating it. So.
Well, I don't know when to stop. That's my problem.
Exactly. So I was like, the other night I was saying like, you know what the hardest part is? It's being an adult and like taking 5 chips out of the bag and then putting the bag away. Okay. That's the hardest part.
Corey Anderson said, Mary, did you feel represented by the movie Powder? Albinos do get a lot of screen time in Hollywood. I have no idea what that movie is, but thank you. Thank you. Shane H. Wilder said, not IG on X. I guess I almost forgot that Kyler has an account on X because I don't know if he really uses it that much, but I'll go check that out. Do we have any more super chats on Rumble?
No, we are all caught up. Before we go, ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button on the episode. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here and you've not subscribed here yet already. Please and thank you. Share the episode out and the segments out with everybody that you know. The more people that you share the show with, the better it is for this show. It helps our reach. So thank you guys so much for that. Mary, where can they find you?
You guys can send me validation on Instagram at Mary Archived, or you can send me hate on X. That is also Mary Archived. And help me get TikTok famous. That is also Mary Archived.
I'm waiting for the day where I accidentally call you guest co-host because we do opposite days. We don't do like 3 days in a row. So whenever it's somebody else, I say guest co-host. One day I will end up screwing that up.
You all mixed up.
It gets me all mixed up. If you guys want to follow me, I'm on Instagram and on X at Brett Dasovic. On both of those platforms, remember that PCC is live 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and Spotify. If you want to listen rather than watch, rate and review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. It's a great way to help us out as well. If you want to follow us on social media, we are on Twix at popculture_show, Facebook at Pop Culture Crisis, Instagram at Pop Culture Crisis Pod. One more here from Cancel Lincoln says, had a random roommate from the army once and I thought he was weird. At one point he was like, it's 3 p.m. time to watch Burn Notice. I feel bad for judging him because he kind of reminds me of Brett in retrospect. Well, I don't know how much like me he was. I know he has fantastic taste in television shows, though I don't know where he was watching it at 3 p.m. He must have been watching out like Ion Television or something. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back with another episode on Monday. We will see you then. Bye. Everybody.